Hello, night traveler. This is Lunas, your dream teller from Magical Nights. Wrap yourself in your blanket and let your imagination flow freely as we venture into the enchanted paths of magical and fantastic tales. Tonight, we'll explore an ancient time where a white enchanted swan named Owen guards ancestral secrets in the depths of an Irish lake. Under the curse of a witch, he needs the help of Aisling, a young musician, to break his spell. Ready to dream? In ancient times, in the verdant land of Ireland, there was a mystical lake known as Loch Finnick, hidden in the heart of the Druim Dirk forest. Every twilight, the lake's waters reflected ethereal colors, as if they were portals to other worlds. This was the domain of Owen, an enchanted white swan, whose splendor was as magnificent as the secrets he guarded. Owen was not an ordinary swan, he was a guardian, trapped under an ancient curse cast by the witch Bamb, who sought to keep the lake's secrets hidden forever. Under the light of the full moon, Owen could briefly take human form, but at dawn, he returned to his swan form, condemned to live this duality until the curse was broken by true love. One night, as the sun set and the sky turned golden and purple, a young woman named Aisling arrived at the edge of Loch Finnick. Aisling, a talented musician from a nearby village, was drawn by the stories of magic surrounding the lake. She brought her harp, hoping to find inspiration in the mystical waters. As she played her first notes, a soft and enchanting melody filled the air, reverberating through the forest. Owen, in swan form, emerged from the depths of the lake, drawn by the music. Upon hearing Aisling's melody, something inside him awoke, an echo of ancient memories and long-forgotten feelings. He approached the shore, watching the young woman with curious and somewhat hopeful eyes. Aisling, enchanted by the sight of the majestic white swan, continued to play, feeling a strange connection with the creature. Their eyes met, and in that moment, a spark of recognition passed between their souls. Aisling's melody seemed to tell the story of Owen, a story of love, loss, and hope. With the full moon shining above, Owen began to transform. His white feathers dissolved into a luminous mist, revealing a young man with golden hair and deep blue eyes. Aisling, both frightened and amazed, stopped playing, watching the transformation with wide eyes. Who are you?" she asked, her voice trembling. "My name is Owen," he replied, his voice as soft as the night breeze. "I was cursed by the witch Bamb, condemned to live as a swan until true love breaks the spell. Your music awoke something inside me. Perhaps you are the key to my liberation." Aisling felt a shiver run down her spine. The idea that her music could hold such power made her both anxious and hopeful. "How can I help?" she asked, determined. Owen smiled, a sad but hopeful smile. "We need to find Bamba's ancient altar, hidden deep in the forest. There, a ritual must be performed, and your music will be essential to breaking the curse. But know, Aisling, that this journey will be dangerous. Bamb will not easily give up her power." Determined to help, Aisling nodded. "I'm ready," she said, her voice firm. "Let's go together, Owen. We will find the altar and break this curse." And so, the young musician and the enchanted guardian set off on a journey that would take them through the darkness of the Druim Dirk forest. With each step, Aisling felt the presence of ancient magic around her, while Owen, in human form, guided her with knowledge and wisdom. That night, under the light of the full moon, a deep bond began to form between Aisling and Owen. They knew the road ahead would be arduous, but hope and determination drove them forward. Together, they would face the challenges and uncover the ancient secrets of Loch Finnick, hoping to break the curse and free Owen from his enchanted form. Aisling and Owen ventured into the Druim Dirk forest, guided by a nearly imperceptible trail. The air was filled with a mystical silence, interrupted only by the rustling of leaves and the distant song of nocturnal birds. Owen, with his keen perception, led the way, always alert to the signs left by Bamb. He knew the witch would have protected the altar with spells and traps, but his determination to break the curse was unwavering. Aisling, with her harp firmly in hand, followed closely. Music was her weapon, her means of connecting with the magic around her. With each step, she felt the pulsing energy of the forest, as if the earth and trees whispered ancient secrets. She couldn't help but marvel at the beauty and mystery of Dirk, but she also felt a growing tension, a dark presence watching their movements. "We're close," said Owen, interrupting Aisling's thoughts. He pointed to a clearing ahead, where an ancient stone structure stood among the trees. "That is Bamba's altar. We must be cautious." Aisling nodded, feeling a chill down her spine. As they approached the altar, a cold wind blew, carrying whispers of warning. Owen reached out, holding Aisling's hand, and together they advanced. As they stepped into the clearing, a greenish glow emanated from the stones, forming a circle around the altar. Aisling could feel the ancient and powerful magic vibrating in the air. "Now, Aisling," said Owen, his voice firm but gentle. "You need to play the melody you played at the lake. The music is the key to activating the ritual and breaking the curse." With trembling hands, Aisling positioned her harp and began to play. The notes floated in the air, intertwining with the magical energy of the altar. The melody, both beautiful and melancholic, seemed to tell Owen's story and his curse. The stones around the altar began to shine intensely, and a golden mist enveloped the clearing. Suddenly, a roar echoed through the forest. Bamb, the witch, emerged from the shadows, her eyes filled with rage and determination. "You think you can break my curse so easily?" she shouted, her voice reverberating with power. "I will not allow it." Owen positioned himself between Aisling and Bamb, his expression determined. "You cannot stop us, Bamb. The power of true love and music is stronger than your dark magic." Bamb raised her hands, conjuring spells that launched beams of energy towards them. Aisling continued to play, her notes becoming a protective shield around them. The battle between light and darkness was intense, and the clearing was filled with pulsating energy. Then, something extraordinary happened. Aisling's melody reached a crescendo, and an intense light exploded from the altar, enveloping Bamb. The witch screamed, trying to resist, but the force of the music and Owen's true love was overwhelming. With a final scream, Bamb was consumed by the light, her form disappearing into the golden mist. When the light dissipated, the clearing was silent. The altar glowed softly, and Owen turned to Aisling, his eyes filled with gratitude and admiration. "You did it," he said, his voice full of emotion. "The curse is broken." Aisling felt tears of joy rolling down her cheeks. She lowered her harp and approached Owen, embracing him. The bond between them was stronger than ever, and the promise of a future together shone like the stars above. With Bamb defeated and the curse broken, Owen was finally free. He and Aisling returned to Loch Finnick, where the lake's magic seemed more vibrant and welcoming than ever. The waters reflected a rainbow of colors, as if celebrating the victory over the darkness. Owen, now permanently in his human form, felt a lightness he hadn't experienced in centuries. He could finally live his life fully, without the weight of the curse on his shoulders. Aisling was by his side, her presence bringing him indescribable joy. Together, they walked along the lake's edge, contemplating the future that awaited them. "We have much to rebuild," said Owen, his voice serene but determined. "Bamb caused much harm, not only to me but to all she touched with her dark magic. We need to restore harmony and peace to this place." Aisling nodded, feeling the same determination. "And we'll do it together," she said, squeezing Owen's hand. "Music and love will be our guides." In the days that followed, Aisling and Owen worked tirelessly to heal the wounds left by Bamb. The Dirk forest began to bloom again, and Loch Finnick became a sanctuary of peace and beauty. Aisling's music resonated everywhere, bringing joy and hope to all who heard it. The news of Bamba's defeat and Owen's liberation spread quickly. People from distant villages came to Loch Finnick, drawn by the magic and the promise of a new beginning. Aisling and Owen welcomed them with open arms, sharing their story and inspiring others to believe in the power of true love and music. Among the new visitors was Fian, a young bard who had heard of Aisling's courage and Owen's sacrifice. He joined them, bringing his own songs and stories to enrich the growing community around the lake. Together, they created a tapestry of music, magic, and love that transformed Loch Finnick into a place of legends and wonders. Aisling and Owen, united by destiny and love, found the happiness they had long sought. The lake, now free from Bamba's shadows, shone with renewed light, reflecting the hope and promise of a bright future. And so, the legend of the White Swan Lake became a story of eternal love, courage, and the transformative power of music, inspiring future generations to believe in the power of true love. Although Bamb had been defeated, her dark influences still lingered in some corners of the forest. Creatures corrupted by the witch's magic still roamed, and the land still bore deep scars. Owen knew that the complete restoration of balance would take time and effort. Aisling and Owen decided to form a council of guardians composed of those who had a deep respect for magic and nature. In addition to Fian, they invited Laden, a wise healer from a distant village, and Kian, a warrior who had sworn to protect the forest from any threat. Together, these dedicated individuals worked tirelessly to purify Druimdurg and protect Loch Finnick. On a starry night, the council gathered around a campfire, discussing plans and strategies. Aisling, sitting beside Owen, held her harp, ready to use her music to bring peace and healing. "We need to find and neutralize all traces of Bamba's magic," said Kian, his voice firm. "Every corrupted creature, every enchanted object must be purified." Lion agreed, adding, "The land also needs healing. Sacred plants and purification rituals can help restore the natural balance." Aisling played a soft melody on her harp, feeling the energy of her friends around her. "Music can be our ally," she said. "We can use songs of protection and healing to aid in our work." Owen nodded, feeling grateful to be surrounded by such dedicated friends. "Let's work together," he said, his voice full of determination. "With our unity, we can overcome any obstacle and bring lasting peace to this place." In the days that followed, the council spread out through the forest, facing challenges and dangers with courage and skill. Aisling used her music to calm the corrupted creatures, allowing Lain and Kian to perform purification rituals. Fian, with his stories and songs, inspired the villagers to join the cause. Although the task was arduous, progress was visible. The Druimdurg forest began to bloom with new life, and Loch Finnick became even more radiant. The community around the lake grew, united by love and hope. One night, after a particularly challenging day of work, Aisling and Owen found themselves at the lake's edge, watching the moon reflected in the calm waters. "We're making progress," said Aisling, feeling tired but content. "Yes," agreed Owen, holding Aisling's hand. "But there is still much to do. The journey is long, but with love and dedication, we will reach our goal." Aisling smiled, feeling the warmth of Owen's love enveloping her. "With you by my side, I know we can face anything." They kissed under the moonlight, a symbol of their promise to face the challenges together, to protect the beauty and magic of Loch Finnick, and to honor the power of true love. And so, the legend of the White Swan Lake continued to grow, a story of love, courage, and hope that inspired future generations to believe in magic and the transformative power of the human heart. Time passed, and the Druimdurg forest continued to recover. Aisling, Owen, and the Council of Guardians faced many challenges, but their work began to show visible results. The scars left by Bamba's dark magic were disappearing, and nature was flourishing again. However, a new challenge approached, one that would test the strength of their bonds and their determination. On a peaceful morning, as the sun rose over Loch Finnick, a hooded figure appeared at the lake's edge. It was an old woman with bright eyes and a mysterious smile. She introduced herself as Morrigan, an ancient goddess of war and prophecy. Morrigan had observed the Guardians' efforts and came to warn them of an impending danger. "Band may have been defeated," said Morrigan, "but her influence still spreads through the shadows. An ancient evil spirit, called Dubcatha, is awakening from its sleep. It seeks revenge and power, and its fury will be relentless. You must be prepared." Aisling, Owen, and the other Guardians listened intently, feeling the gravity of the situation. "How can we face Dubcatha?" asked Owen, his voice full of determination. Morrigan looked deeply into Owen's eyes. "You must seek the wisdom of the ancient trees. They know the secrets of the land and can guide you. But the journey will be dangerous. Only the brave and pure of heart can withstand the tests of the ancient trees." Determined to protect their land and their people, Aisling and Owen decided to set off immediately in search of the wisdom of the ancient trees. They knew the path would be arduous, but they were prepared to face any challenge in the name of love and peace. The journey took them into the depths of the Druimdirk forest, where the ancient trees stood majestic, with thick trunks and deep roots. These trees were silent witnesses of the past centuries, guardians of the oldest secrets of the land. Upon reaching the sacred grove, Aisling and Owen felt a powerful energy around them. The trees seemed to whisper, their leaves murmuring ancient secrets. Suddenly, a deep, resonant voice echoed among the trees. "Who dares to seek the wisdom of the ancient trees?" Owen stepped forward, holding Aisling's hand. "We are Aisling and Owen, guardians of Loch Finnick. We come seeking your guidance to face Dubcatha and protect our land." The voice responded with a tone of approval. "You are brave, but courage is not enough. You must prove your purity of heart and your determination. Each of you will face a test." The tree roots began to move, creating two distinct paths. Owen followed one, and Aisling the other, each facing their own challenges. Owen found himself on a battlefield, surrounded by spectral warriors. To prove his strength, he had to face his own fears and overcome the illusions of war and death. With determination, he fought bravely, but not with violence. He used wisdom and compassion, disarming his spectral enemies and showing that true strength comes from the heart and mind. Meanwhile, Aisling found herself in an enchanted garden, full of flowers and magical creatures. Her test was one of patience and harmony. She needed to use her music to calm a restless beast that threatened to destroy the garden. With her harp, she played a soft and soothing melody, filling the air with notes of peace and love. The beast, touched by the purity of the music, transformed into a docile and friendly creature. Having completed their tests, Aisling and Owen returned to the sacred grove, where the voice of the ancient trees greeted them. "You have proven yourselves worthy. Here is the wisdom you seek." The trees shared ancient secrets and deep knowledge, teaching them how to face Dubcatha and protect their land. With this new knowledge, Aisling and Owen returned to Loch Finnick, ready for the final battle against the evil spirit. Prepared with the wisdom of the ancient trees, Aisling and Owen gathered the council of guardians and the villagers. They knew the battle against Dubcatha would be the hardest they had ever faced, but they were determined to protect their land and their people. Night fell, and a sinister darkness enveloped Loch Finnick. Dubcatha, a gigantic and threatening shadow, emerged from the depths of the forest, its eyes gleaming with malevolence. "You dare face me?" its voice echoed, full of disdain. Owen, with Aisling by his side, raised the sacred sword he had received from the ancient trees. "We are not afraid of you, Dubcatha. We will fight for our home and our future." The battle began. The guardians and villagers fought bravely, using all their skills and the newly acquired wisdom. Aisling played her harp, creating a shield of music that protected her allies and weakened Dubcatha. Owen, with the sacred sword in hand, faced the evil spirit directly. The battle was intense and exhausting, but Aisling and Owen did not give up. With courage and determination, they faced up Katha, attacking with precision and defending with cunning. Gradually, the evil spirit began to weaken, its shadows dissipating. With a final blow of the sacred sword, Owen pierced up Katha's heart, and an intense light exploded, consuming the darkness. The evil spirit screamed in agony before disappearing completely, leaving only a peaceful silence. The victory was celebrated with joy and relief. Aisling and Owen were hailed as heroes, and Loch Finnick became a symbol of hope and resilience. The Druim Dirk forest bloomed like never before, and the community grew strong and united. The legend of the White Swan Lake was not just a story of love and courage, but also a testament that unity and determination can overcome any adversity. Aisling and Owen lived together, happy, their lives dedicated to protecting and nurturing the land they loved. As years passed, Aisling and Owen became legendary figures in Ireland. Their stories were told and retold, inspiring generations to believe in the power of true love and unity. They founded a school of guardians where they taught talented young people to protect and respect nature and magic. The school, located on the shores of Loch Finnick, became a center of learning and wisdom. Aisling taught music and magic, while Owen instructed in the arts of defense and leadership. Together, they shaped the next generation of protectors, ensuring that peace and harmony continued to prosper. Among their students was Siobhan, a young woman with an angelic voice and a pure heart. She stood out as Aisling's most talented disciple, and her music had the power to heal and inspire. Under Aisling's guidance, Siobhan developed remarkable skills, becoming a respected and beloved guardian. Cian and Laiden, always loyal and dedicated, continued to serve the Council of Guardians, passing on their wisdom and knowledge. Fian, with his stories and songs, traveled throughout Ireland, spreading the legend of the White Swan Lake and inspiring courage and hope wherever he went. Aisling and Owen, now elders, watched with pride as their community grew and prospered. Loch Finnick continued to shine with ethereal beauty, reflecting the peace and harmony that had been restored. Aisling and Owen's legacy was secure in the hands of the new guardians, and they knew their work was complete. On a peaceful night, under the light of the full moon, Aisling and Owen walked together to the lake's edge. They sat side by side, contemplating the serene waters that had witnessed their struggles and triumphs. "Do you remember that night when we first met?" asked Aisling, a gentle smile on her face. Owen smiled, holding Aisling's hand. "How could I forget? Your music saved my soul and my heart." Aisling sighed, feeling the deep connection between them. "And now, our legacy will live on forever, in the stories we tell and the lives we touch." They embraced, feeling the peace and fulfillment of a life well lived. And so, under the starlight, Aisling and Owen closed their eyes, knowing they had fulfilled their destiny and that true love always prevails. With Aisling and Owen resting in peace, Siobhan and the other guardians took on the responsibility of protecting Loch Finnick and continuing their master's legacy. The School of Guardians flourished, attracting young people from all over Ireland, each with a burning desire to learn and protect the magical land. Siobhan, now a respected leader, guided her students with wisdom and compassion. She taught the importance of balance between nature and magic and how music could be a powerful tool for healing and protection. Her songs resonated throughout Loch Finnick, bringing peace and harmony to all who heard them. One day, while exploring the Druim Dirk forest, Siobhan found an ancient and majestic tree that seemed to whisper her name. Curious, she approached and placed her hand on the tree trunk. A sense of warmth and love enveloped her, and a soft voice spoke in her mind. "You are the chosen one, Siobhan," said the voice. "The guardian of wisdom and music. You must continue to protect this sacred place and ensure harmony prevails." Siobhan felt a deep sense of responsibility but also a great honor. She knew she was prepared to face any challenge, just as Aisling and Owen had before her. With determination, she promised to protect Loch Finnick and guide the next generation of Guardians. In the following years, Siobhan and the Guardians faced new challenges, but always with courage and unity. They discovered new secrets and wonders in the Druimdirk forest, and the legend of the White Swan Lake continued to grow, inspiring hope and love throughout Ireland. Siobhan wrote many songs and stories about Aisling and Owen, ensuring their legacy was never forgotten. The songs of the future echoed with the promise of a world where magic and true love always prevail, and where the Guardians of Loch Finnick protected the beauty and peace of their sacred land. The years passed, and the legend of the White Swan Lake became immortal. Aisling and Owen's story was told and retold, crossing generations and inspiring all who heard it. Loch Finnick remained a sanctuary of peace and magic, protected by dedicated guardians who followed in their master's footsteps. The School of Guardians thrived, attracting students from all over the world, each with the desire to learn and protect nature and magic. Aisling and Owen's wisdom was passed down from generation to generation, and the harmony between music and magic continued to flourish. Siobhan, now a wise and respected elder, watched with pride as her community grew and prospered. She knew Aisling and Owen's legacy was safe in the hands of their successors, and that the promise of peace and true love would continue to inspire the world. On a quiet night, under the starlight, Siobhan walked to the edge of Loch Finnick. She sat in silence, listening to the gentle melody of the waters and feeling the presence of her masters. With a serene smile, she began to play her harp, filling the air with a song of love and hope. As she played, a golden mist began to form over the lake, and two ethereal figures emerged from the water. It was Aisling and Owen, their spirits shining with pure and radiant light. They smiled at Siobhan, their love and gratitude radiating from their presence. "You have done well, Siobhan," said Aisling, her voice as soft as the night breeze. "Your legacy and ours will live on forever." Owen nodded, his eyes full of pride. "The harmony and peace you helped create are eternal. Thank you for protecting Loch Finnick and for keeping our story alive." Siobhan felt tears of joy rolling down her cheeks. It was an honor to follow in your footsteps and protect this sacred place. You will always be in our hearts. With one last smile, Aisling and Owen disappeared into the golden mist, returning to the serene waters of Loch Finnick. Siobhan continued to play, her music echoing with the promise of a bright and harmonious future. And so, the legend of the White Swan Lake became a story of eternal love, courage, and hope, inspiring generations to believe in the power of true love and unity. The magic of Loch Finnick continued to shine, and the dedicated guardians ensured that peace and harmony prevail forever.